I've got behind me Matlock Town Football Club. It's always good to give support for your local team, but Derby County's always been my team. But I always enjoy coming down here when Derby play them in pre-season, and I was lucky enough to play in a charity match for Matlock Town to raise money for the new Twig stand. And they played against Derby County legends, so people like Kevin Hector and Roger Davis played. And I was even lucky enough to score the winner, although there's no photographic evidence to prove me right. I'd have to say my first memory of Derby County would probably be at the baseball ground. I was only about 5 when we left it, so they're very faint memories, but it's probably waiting with my mum and sister going through the turnstiles and going through the concourse. And I always remember putting my hands over my ears because I didn't like the noise because I was that young. Favourite match has got to be the playoff semi-final against Southampton in '07. It was so dramatic. George Burley was an ex-Derby manager, he was managing Southampton, had all the drama, the atmosphere was fantastic. Went all the way down to penalties, and Idiarquez, who'd played for us, had to score to keep Southampton in the shootout, and he missed. And I just remember being part of the pitch invasion. It was fantastic and just a great atmosphere. It was wonderful. Worst match, you've got to probably take your pick from any of the Premier League games, just because not only were we outclassed, but we didn't put up a fight. I remember losing 6-0 at home to Aston Villa. Petrov scored from the halfway line, and I just had memories of that season just making subs in the first half tactically because we were so bad. But in terms of being upset, any match we've lost to Nottingham Forest, especially the Nathan Tyson flag waving incident, I was at that game. I've been a programme seller at Derby since 2009. For most home games, and they've been very kind to me. They've let me still sell programmes when I've been at university. So that's always been good fun. I've always enjoyed it. It's never really felt like a job. It's always been a privilege to help the club a bit and go and watch games afterwards. And I've been dotted around various parts of the ground, so it's always been good fun. I love doing it. I hope I can keep doing it. I loved Stevie Howard. He was one of my favourite players. In our promotion year, he got us 19 goals, and he just gave us all. He was fantastic in the air. He'd outmuscle anyone. Decent at penalties, he had a good shot on him, and I was lucky enough to meet him once or twice. He was a lovely bloke as well, but he just gave us all. But I always had a soft spot for target men, so Howard, Gregors Rajak was a very skillful player, Rob Hulse was a good goal scorer as well, but I loved people like Idiarquez and Chris Commons who had flair in them. I remember Commons could get something out of nothing. He scored that screamer against Manchester United in the League Cup semi-final. So I've had all sorts really, but those sorts of players have always been my favourites. For potential, my favourite player would be Will Hughes, because I think he'd go all the way in the game. I remember seeing him, he started against Peterborough last match of the 11-12 season, and he was 16 at the time, I think, but his passing and touching was just phenomenal. But apart from Hughes, I'd say Craig Bryson, just because he's really come on as a player. He runs for miles, he puts the effort in, he's got a great shot on him, he's improved his all-round aspects of the game. He's a good crosser, good at set pieces, and he's got a good goal element to him now as well. I've got a lot of fond memories of Pride Park. I remember it being opened and having a great procession. I'm just a bit unfortunate in that I have seen the likes of Igor Stimac, Baiano, Wanchop, Iranio play, but my memories are quite faint of them. But I do have some memories of the Premier League days when we were challenging for Europe and we're doing well against Manchester United. But we've had some great matches at Pride Park where we've been a match for anyone. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the Manchester United game and we beat them 1-0 with Commons screaming, but I remember watching that on TV. But it was great to hear Jeff Stelling say that for the best ground in the Football League, he picked Pride Park, and obviously I'd agree with him because I'm biased, but I've seen so many great matches over the years, and especially the 2 playoff campaigns, but obviously more specifically the promotion season. There's some great matches that year where we were real force in the division. Message to Derby County fans in the constituency. I just want to hopefully count on your support next May for the general election, and you know that you've got a Derby County voice standing for you, so hopefully I've got your support as I've been supporting Derby County.